mess it up by not checking your pockets.
On the way, please hang on.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I've got an intense one for you. A real heart-pounding thriller called Don't Move. I'll be walking you through every tense moment, so if you're ready for a story that'll keep you on the edge of your seat, you're in the right place. Picture this. A woman, paralyzed little by little, having to outsmart and outrun a ruthless killer. So, grab your popcorn and let's dive into this wild ride of survival. The story starts out calm, almost deceptively peaceful. Our main character, a woman we'll come to root for, is standing alone, lost in her thoughts. You can tell from her expression that she's carrying a heavy burden, haunted by some deep grief. She looks around, taking in her surroundings, maybe even finding a moment of peace. But little does she know that peace is about to be shattered. Out of nowhere, a stranger appears. He's got this calm, almost calculated demeanor that makes your skin crawl right away. He approaches her, his steps steady and sure, and there's something off about his smile. Too calm, too confident. Before she can react, he's standing right there in front of her, his eyes cold and detached. Without a word, he pulls out a syringe and injects her with something. She barely manages a gasp, eyes wide with shock, as the paralytic agent begins to take hold. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" he says, almost casually, like they're just two strangers meeting by chance. But the horror on her face tells the story. Her mind races as she feels her body start to betray her. Her limbs grow heavy, each step feeling like she's moving through quicksand. She stumbles forward, desperate to put some distance between herself and this man. But her legs won't cooperate. Her world is spinning, her breathing shallow, and all she can think about is escaping, before her body gives out completely. The first few minutes are pure chaos. She's fighting against her own body, struggling to stay upright. It's as if she's trapped in slow motion, every movement taking twice the effort, and the man behind her? He's just watching, letting her exhaust herself. There's something sickening about his calmness, his patience. He knows she doesn't stand a chance, and yet he follows her, step by slow step, as if he's savoring the chase. In one scene, she manages to find a hiding spot. She's breathing heavily, each shallow breath feeling like it might give her away. She can hear him approaching, his footsteps slow and deliberate. He's toying with her, dragging out the terror. She squeezes her eyes shut, hoping, praying that he won't find her. But then his voice breaks the silence, soft but terrifying. "I know you're here," he says, his voice a chilling whisper. "You're not alone, not anymore." Her hands start to shake. She's clutching onto a broken piece of wood, the only weapon she could find in her weakened state. It's not much, but it's all she has. And as he steps closer, her grip tightens. Her heart pounds as she tries to control her breathing, hoping he'll pass her by. But he doesn't. This game of cat and mouse continues, each encounter more terrifying than the last. She tries everything, running, hiding, even attempting to fight back. But the paralysis is spreading, her limbs growing heavier by the minute. There's a desperation in her eyes, a fear that runs deeper than anything she's ever felt. She knows her time is running out, and every second feels like it could be her last. At one point, she makes a break for it, using every ounce of strength she has left to sprint down a dark hallway. She stumbles, her legs barely responding, but she doesn't stop. Her will to survive pushes her forward, even as her body starts to fail her. The killer follows at his usual pace, never speeding up, always one step behind. It's as if he knows exactly how much she can take, and he's pushing her to the very edge. "Why don't you just give up?" he taunts, his voice laced with a dark amusement, but she refuses. Her mind flashes with memories. Her family, her friends, the things she's yet to do, the life she still wants to live. These thoughts fuel her, giving her the strength to push forward, even as her legs start to buckle beneath her. It's a fight between her mind and her body, a struggle to keep going against all odds. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this story as much as I am, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton of recaps coming up that you won't want to miss, especially if you love a good thriller. Now, back to the story. Our heroine is at her breaking point. She's found a small room to hide in, her breaths shallow and rapid, each one feeling like it could be her last. She's scouring the room for anything that could help her, anything she could use as a weapon. Her fingers are numb, her vision starting to blur, but she refuses to give up. Suddenly, she spots a shard of glass lying on the floor. It's sharp, dangerous, exactly what she needs. She grips it tightly, her knuckles turning white. She knows she only has one chance, and she's determined to make it count. The door creaks open, and there he is, standing in the doorway, his silhouette casting a dark shadow across the room. "This has been fun," he says, a twisted smile playing on his lips. But all good things must come to an end. With a final burst of energy, she lunges forward, the shard of glass aimed straight at him. There's a flash of surprise on his face as the glass slices into his arm. Blood drips down, and for a split second, she feels a surge of triumph. She's hurt him. She's fought back, but her victory is short-lived. He retaliates, his hand slamming down on her wrist, forcing her to drop the glass. She cries out in pain, her body collapsing as the last of her strength leaves her. He looks down at her, a strange expression on his face, part anger, part admiration. It's as if he didn't expect her to fight back, and he almost respects her for it. "You're stronger than I thought," he says, a hint of respect in his voice. "But it's over now." In the final moments, she's barely conscious, her body too weak to move. But her mind is still sharp, still fighting. She remembers everything she's endured, every moment of terror, and she refuses to let him win. With one last surge of defiance, she reaches for a nearby pipe, swinging it blindly. She connects, catching him off guard. He stumbles, momentarily thrown off balance, and in that brief pause she makes her final escape. She crawls, inch by agonizing inch out of his reach, her body pushed beyond its limits. She doesn't stop until she's put as much distance as she can between them. And as she collapses, her body finally giving in, there's a sense of victory. She's survived, she's defied him, she's won. And that, my friends, is Don't Move. A terrifying story of resilience, courage, and the will to survive against all odds. It's a brutal, relentless thriller that keeps you guessing until the very last moment. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.